Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Monday. I hope you had a good weekend, and if not, well, we're here to ruin it with all the news you might have missed over the weekend and today. This is the first international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show. We are getting our caffeine right now. We're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those mucking headlines and roll that spin that segue wheel. Ain't no rolling wheels today. Today on Mucking Fonday, Goddess soldiers tackle urban combat drills ahead of Estonia deployment. The plane carrying Sanchez was forced to land in Turkey due to a technical issue.
Greetings on Mucking Fonday from the United States. The Kentucky Derby has a woman trainer winner for the first time, and Nepal celebrates return of stolen Buddhist statue from New York.
Yeah. Mertz shrugs off Trump clash over troops and trade. Plus, Somalia. Are the pirates Somali pirates hijack oil tanker in Gulf of Aden? Second strike in weeks.
Oof. And more statue news. Banksy confirms new statue in central London is his work. And Denmark faces reckoning after another ridiculous surging demand for data centers. Oof.
And speaking of statues, the golden statue known as an Oscar, there are new rules that are announced that say AI actors and scripts cannot win awards. So you don't have to worry about whatever her name is. I already forgot her name. The AI actress winning anything. She's not in competition.
Right on. It's not only is it Mucking Fonday, it's Mucking Fonday. Is it May the 4th be with you? That's right. It's May 4th, 2026 and Before Coffee.
Also, Tommy said that he eats corn that way, but he's probably lying. Most likely lying.
All right.
I was watching Tom's stream on Saturday, and he said something like, "I never lie." Wait, that's not true. I lie all the time. It was so funny to see. Me, I never lie. Wait a minute, I do that. Never mind. I took it back as soon as he said it.
That's the old Star Trek trip up the logic of the androids. Trip up the logic of the androids, right? Remember that one? It was the old Star Trek.
The original one.
Everything I tell you is a lie. I'm lying right now. And then, whoa.
Wait,
and then logic. It couldn't. Yeah, well.
If you always lie, then you're lying about lying. But then if you're lying about lying, then you're telling the truth. But you lied then, so that means exactly.
If you're eating a cob like this, that means you only have this bottom row of teeth left. That means you're from Appalachia.
Or British.
Oh, yeah, well, no, British are just known for crooked teeth, not fucked up teeth.
Oh, okay.
Imagine you all take care of your crooked chiclets as best possible. I get crooked chiclets. I don't really care that much.
Yeah, me too. My teeth up here. It was really tough for my dentist because she had to put like a thing in, and she's like, "Oh, I can't get in there." I was like, "I've been trying to floss." Yep, you haven't made your dentist appointment still.
I got a dentist tomorrow. Tomorrow I got a dentist appointment.
Oh, finally! So they can cancel it on you again.
No, it's just an evaluation and say, "Oh, that tooth's got to come out." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." And hopefully not tomorrow they take it out. Oh, it's gonna go out now. Okay, well.
Segue is a non sequitur. So we can talk about the dentist some more. Yes. Whatever you want. I want to know why my...
I'll send you a video. Non sequitur.
Our first story is coming out of Scotland and also Estonia, technically. It's from Nick Forbes on The Independent. Soldiers from the Royal Regiment of Scotland have been taking part in an urban combat drill as they prepare to deploy to Eastern Europe as part of a major NATO exercise. Troops from the 2nd Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Scotland, 2 Scots, are set to travel to Estonia for exercise Spring Storm. Well, we already had a spring storm yesterday. It was a huge thunderstorm. Very cool. Multinational exercise near the Russian border. I think it's a show of force, being like, Russia, if you win in Ukraine, this is what you're going to have to deal with. Bringing together allied forces from across Europe. The exercise will test their combat readiness while supporting the assessment of the Estonian armed forces and strengthening regional defenses. In the lead-up, soldiers have spent weeks on the exercise Black Cyclone, training across the north of England in preparation for the harsh terrain and conditions they are likely to face in Estonia. The training pushed the troops physically and mentally through a series of high-intensity scenarios, ranging from live firing on the ranges to urban combat drills and helicopter exercises using Chinook aircraft, designed to reflect the scenarios they could encounter overseas. Among those deploying is 18-year-old Fusilier Evan Slater from View Park, North Lanarkshire, who will be taking part in the first overseas exercise. Having joined the regiment in January this year, the soldier said it's been an intense introduction to life in an infantry battalion. It was hard at first, aggressive, but it's been good to get straight into it, he said. We are learning new skills all the time instead of doing the same thing over and over again. Urban training was probably my favorite part. I got to be point man, going through the door first, which I've never done before. He added that the conditions in Kilders Forest, Northumberland, were among the toughest parts of the exercise. It was freezing, he said, but being from Scotland, I'm kind of used to it so it wasn't too bad. Having completed his initial training, Fusilier Slater said he is now focused on getting out on exercises abroad, putting his preparation into practice. I've been going to the gym more to prepare, especially for the extra pack weights we'll be carrying, he said. My first time going away on an exercise, so I'm looking forward to it. Lieutenant Damien Light, 2 Scots, said the training had been key to preparing soldiers for what will be a different challenge from what they are used to. Exercise Black Cyclone has given our soldiers a strong foundation for what is to come, he said. 2 Scots have deployed to Estonia before, but this will be a different challenge. The scale will be greater, the conditions will be tougher, and the expectations will be higher. This training has been designed to reflect that. It's pushed our soldiers physically and mentally, ensuring they are ready to operate alongside NATO allies in demanding and realistic environments. The deployment builds on the regiment's recent experience working with NATO allies in Eastern Europe, including Exercise Hedgehog, which was featured in a BBC documentary, The Troops, following the battalion on deployment in Estonia last year. It comes as the regiment marks its 20th anniversary with a series of events around Scotland. Oh, they're only 20 years old for the Royal Regiment of Scotland. I wonder why they were made, 20 years ago. I guess they were made for 2006?
Wow.
That's a bit late. That was a bit late for Afghanistan and Iraq. Interesting. I mean, I guess it was the middle of it. I'm just trying to think of why they were made, right? Why the regiment was made 20 years ago. But there's my story. On Scotland and the tough environments and stuff.
Yeah, getting Scotland always being asked to do things where, tenuous citizenship in the British Empire. That's my non sequitur. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. The fighting Scottish
instead of the
fighting Irish.
Don't get me started. I can do my Scotty accent, but I won't. It's not Star Trek Day, it's Star Wars Day.
Yeah, it says here, it was created, the regiment was created in 2004 on December 16th. It was just part of a merger of several regiments. So they went from 40 infantry battalions to 36 because they just merged some together, I guess. So that's why it's only 20 years old, the 2nd Battalion. I think it was the 2nd Battalion we're talking about. Yeah, 2nd Battalion Light Infantry. I can hear that. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. It was a mistake.
All right.
I was doing YouTube.
Let me just scroll to my shorts during Allie's story. Wow, so rude.
No, I already did my thing, man.
I'm just making a joke. Just making a joke. Our next story is coming. It's very short, and it's coming out of Spain/Turkey, because there has been... Oh, that scared me. There has been a landing, a technical issue on this plane of Sanchez, and he's landed in Turkey. So nothing, hopefully, nothing spy-related, you know? No. This is from El Confidencial. A technical problem with official plane carrying the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez to Armenia to participate in the European Political Community Summit has forced him to make a landing in the Turkish capital, Ankara. The Airbus A310 carrying Sanchez and the rest of his delegation departed from Torreón de Ardoz Air Base in Madrid shortly before 4 in the afternoon. It was yesterday then. Yeah, the 5th. No, wait, the 3rd. This was Saturday. No, this was yesterday. Today's the 4th. I can't tell. This was yesterday when it happened. Or in the afternoon. Bound for Armenia's capital, where nearly 50 leaders from countries belonging to this forum are meeting today, on the 4th of May. Government sources have informed EFE that a technical glitch, which they downplayed, forced the plane to follow protocol and land in Ankara, where it spent the night. Once the issue was resolved, it resumed its journey to the Yerevan summit early this morning, today. Sanchez will arrive later than expected at the summit, but in principle, he will be able to participate in the plenary session along with other leaders and in the roundtable on democratic resilience and hybrid threats, co-chaired by France and Moldova, and focused on foreign information manipulation and hybrid threats, you know, like Russia sending bots in to say, hey, everyone get angry up at this thing so we can put our puppet leader in. Nearly 50 leaders at the European political community are expected to attend this meeting, a forum that brings together the 27 member states and most of other European countries that are not part of the EU. Following the 8th summit of this group country, Sanchez will return to Madrid also the same day, okay. The most recent incident involving an official aircraft that forced the Prime Minister to change his schedule occurred on September 4th, when the Falcon jet he was flying into Paris to attend a meeting of the Coalition of Volunteers for Ukraine had to turn back mid-flight due to a mechanical failure. On that occasion, the Prime Minister participated in the meeting remotely. So nothing dangerous, just a little hiccup on the planes. I don't know, people need to do some more plane maintenance, maybe. Oh yeah, this is the same.
Turkey.
And that is my story. Quite short.
Oh, yeah. Well, non sequitur. He landed in Turkey. It reminds me of Turkey. They have themselves still that Erdogan guy. He's kind of like Viktor Orban, but the Turkey version of it. Just your oligarch that always wins the election. Right? Always win the election. Well, it's true.
And he's not invited to this thing either.
What's he talking about? It's a non sequitur, by the way. Okay.
Okay, our next segue for your story, okay, is...
Most of my work is complete today. All I gotta do is read now.
Another easy...
Associate!
Another easy one.
Yes. You can just ignore the story and just go with the headline, right? Associate that with falling asleep. All right, we're going to talk about good news for a change in this world. There's a horse race held every year in Kentucky. Juleps and fancy dress, and everybody gets to show off. It was really cool. It's really cool spring everywhere in the United States this year, at least in the East Coast. And we have a winner of the Kentucky Derby, and for the first time in history, the horse was trained by the head trainer was a woman. Now again, there's plenty of horse trainers out there that aren't the head trainer that train horses. So I don't want to act like, oh my God, a woman's never trained a horse before.
Girls exist, by the way.
No, she's the actual head. Right. No, right. It's like women jockeys have been where it used to be no women jockeys, and that never used to be a thing, right? And there used to be actually no women horses. Like mares weren't allowed to race. You know, the whole thing's changed over the years. Anyway,
hell?
Let's check off that. Let's check off the list. Head trainer, the head trainer, not just like one of the people. NBCNews.com has a story. Rohan Nadkani, Kentucky Derby winner Sherry Davak I think it's DeVox or DeVox, D-A. I guess I should have pronounced her name. I looked it up first. Bet on herself and won big. For more than a decade, Sherry helped train other people's horses as she dreamed of one day taking the reins herself. That dream came true and then some. She became the first woman to train the winning horse at the Kentucky Derby when Golden Temple claimed the 152nd run for the Roses on Saturday at Churchill Downs. And there she is, a picture holding the trophy. And plus the horse doesn't even know if it won the race. I bet you the horse knows it won the race, but it doesn't know about all the other stuff, right? It's like, I know I beat them other horses. I'm the best. I get extra apple.
My trainer is a woman, you know. Imagine that in the stalls right before the race. It's just saying, hey, my trainer's a woman, by the way. In horse. Before starting her own stable, DeVaugh, or I think it's DeVaugh, climbed her way up the ranks, beginning as a stable worker for the late Chuck Simon before becoming assistant trainer for Chad Brown. In 2018, she finally acquired her trainer's license and went out on her own. You gotta have a trainer's license, I guess, for a horse. The world of horse racing. You need one. It was a conversation with my now husband, DeVaugh 44, said to WLEX TV about her decision to go solo. I was bummed out from being an assistant trainer. I was burned out and bummed out from being an assistant trainer. I want to do something more for myself, have a little more of a personal life. DeVaugh's initial plan was to see how training by herself went for 3 years, but she would win her first race only 11 months later. Though the start of the pandemic soon halted her momentum, she kept at it, eventually taking the Breeders' Cup in 2024. Breeders' Cup is one of them horse races where, you know, breeders, right? The winner of that horse is the winner of that race becomes, oh, I get to put out the stud and it's party time. No more racing for me. Hey, selling now. Don't ask girls, how they get that. Anyway, yeah, don't ask how they get it, okay?
Saturday, DeVaugh's race time at the Kentucky Derby was the first time on Saturday. Her first time at the Kentucky Derby was the charm. Well, third time is the charm is the actual saying, but I don't know why they want to say that. Anyway, as Golden Temple made a late surge to defeat one of the favorites, Renegade. Golden Temple, like his trainer, had to make his own arduous climb, galloping from last place all the way to the victory. Her dream was realized in large part due to jockey Jose Ortiz, who defeated his own brother. His own brother was on Renegade. He had to beat his own brother. He says, sorry, pal, this is my race. I don't have any words right now, she said at the broadcast after victory. I am just so happy after Golden Temple. For Golden Temple, Jose did a wonderful job, a masterful job of getting him here. I was so far out of it, and he has so much faith in the horse. The closest woman had come to training the winning horse in the Derby prior was Shelley Riley in 1992, who trained Casual Eyes to a second place finish. The only other woman to win a Triple Crown race as a trainer, not as a horse. It's like, the horse wins the race. The only trainer to win the Triple Crown race was Jenna Antonucci, who won the 2023 Belmont Stakes. Okay, so there's been precedent in the big horse racing, the big three in the Triple Crown. Leading up to Saturday's race, she was not shy about her chance to make history, saying the only thing that I want to do in my career is be the first female to win the Kentucky Derby. She added, being a female in this industry, the standards are always equal, and the back of my mind is always to be strong role model for those who aren't like me. After winning, DeVaugh didn't downplay the enormity of achievement. I'm glad I can represent women everywhere. She said in a post-race interview, we can do anything we set our minds to. With the Kentucky Derby, she could be now trying to be the first woman to win the Triple Crown. She didn't commit to winning running the Preakness on May 16th, which is up here by Baltimore, saying she would see how the horse responded. You can't really decide to run your horse today, folks. I mean, you got to kind of decide that week. Are we even going to ship the horse to Maryland? Is this horse stressed out? Is this going to harm my horse? You know, they think about those things these days. In the old days, they just said, yeah, let's run that horse into the ground. But those are the old days. Anyway, you know she cares about her horses, and nowadays, hopefully they're done with the doping scandals. And let's have us a association about horses and racing. whatever.
I mean, yeah, this reminds me, of there's this channel my landlady watches where she raises those really dark black Frisian horses. They're huge, they're big,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times, well, I think she had recently had a mare that like was, I'm done. Like the mare was done, had like 5 foals or whatever, and it's like she's done being breeded now. And she's had too many. She's too tired now to have any more. So she's retired.
That's it.
Yep, that's a different type of retirement.
Yeah, retired from having babies. Yeah,
Yeah.
They just remove her uterus. Move her uterus, and
Probably.
that'll just be end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I would just imagine that's what you do to horses.
But I'm not sure if that type of horse is used in racing because they're really big. They're like kind of like Clydesdales, you know? They're more
I wonder
like
if they
workhorses,
do
I think.
sterilize. They used to sterilize males if they were just rough acting. Like they would not train. They would not stay in. They wouldn't stay in the stall, right? They would. So they would take their nuts off and they would behave themselves. They're called geldings. They call them geldings.
Yes.
Right. Just a nice
gelding,
bird.
yeah.
I don't know if they do it to mares or not.
Official horse girl, but I'm pretty close to horse girl. I mean, I rode horses. I like watching things about horses, you know. Black Beauty, great movie. I cry every time.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, and Secretariat, if you want, one of your tourist attractions out here in the mountains of the Virginia, rolling hills of Virginia, is where Secretariat was raised, which was the greatest horse. The greatest
That's also a movie.
racehorse
Right.
of all time. The only horse named on ESPN's 100 greatest athletes of the 20th century was a horse. That's wait a minute. If a horse is on the list, then there can't be humans on the list. I'm just saying, it can't be humans if there's a horse, because every horse is a better athlete than every man. I mean, they can run faster, for sure. 4 legs and being huge makes you run faster. Anyway, I'm sorry. Next story. I got another story. This one's a short story too. Another short story. It's about Nepal celebrating the return of a stolen statue. Yeah, we know that we have the misappropriation. Oh, well, it's an artifact. It's ours. We found it. We're taking it back to New York. Al Jazeera has the story. Al Jazeera. A centuries-old Buddhist statue stolen from Nepali temple has been reinstated as original location, one of several artifacts returned from foreign museums and collections of recent years. The statue, dating to the 13th century, is carried in a palanquin back to its pagoda-style temple in the capital, Kathmandu, to the sound of traditional music on Friday. And I feel so happy. We all do. Our God is coming back. Temple goer Sankasari Takya, 67, told the AFP news agency, recalling the day the statue was stolen, wreaking havoc on the community. The ceremony attended a visiting United States envoy. The statue, which returned from New York in 2022, was 4 years ago, man, was placed back in its original stone plinth. Plinth is a word. Oh, yes. The plinth. Yeah, that's right. Say it. Say it with me, everybody. Plinth. Never said that word before. The event coincided with the festival of Buddha Jayanti, marking the birth of the founder of Buddhism. So it's his birthday. So you get your statue back, and he's wearing like a big, looks like Hawaiian lays, like a couple of them. He's on like he's carrying them on one of them thingamajigs I just described. 4 people carry it on a pedestal. They got the little thing. The replica that locals had been worshiping instead was moved to another area of the temple. The statue was taken from the temple in the 1980s and later emerged at Tibet House, U.S., a cultural center in New York, where it was gifted by an unknown monk, according to Nepal's Department of Archaeology. Well, a monk stole it then, didn't he? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe somebody stole it, donated to a Buddhist temple in New York. Maybe that's what happened. Sergio Gore, Washington's special envoy to South and Central Asia, told AFP, one of the things we are focusing on is to be able to bring back some of these incredible artifacts that decades past got into the wrong hands. We are trying to right the wrongs of the past. said Gore, who was on a 3-day visit to Nepal. Many of the Himalayan nation of 30 million people are deeply religious. The country's Hindu and Buddhist temples, as well as heritage sites, are an integral part of everyday life, in case you didn't know that. But many sites are bereft of century-old sculptures, paintings, and ornamental windows, even doors, which were often stolen after a country opened up to the outside world. Oh, here come the outside world. Nothing bad can happen. Guess again. About 200 artifacts have been returned to Nepal, according to the archaeological department, including wood and stone carvings, paintings, scriptures, and idols of gods and goddesses. At least 41 artifacts have been placed back to original locations. This is very important. Our statues are not just objects of art, but part of our living heritage. Conservation expert Rabindra Puri told the AFP. Not to point fingers at any specific society, but Americans are like this. I don't know. We just think, oh shit, I can take that. I'm not saying Americans are the worst, but they're the only culture I really know. So, nah. So stop taking shit that don't belong to you, morons. There's your story.
Oh, British people also do that, I suppose. Which I guess is my association. Wait, this was in the British Museum? I'm so shocked.
Well, it's an antiquity for Nepal, so naturally it's in New York.
Yeah, obviously. It's safe
naturally,
there.
It's featured in London.
It can't fall off a building, or off a mountain, I guess, because Nepal has more mountains. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they're being colonized by China, so I imagine maybe China has a lot of their shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. I guess that's all we got.
I'm just gonna do this for myself.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, that's what happens when I wake up. That's what happens when I wake up this early. I'm not on the soundboard. I'm so asleep.
Our next
we made one section.
segue is tell a joke.
All right.
And our next story is coming out of, well, it's kind of is a joke already, because it's the Germany and the convicted felon getting into a little drama a little bit. Uh-oh. Mertz, of course, shrugs it off because he's an adult. So I was like, okay, whatever. We had a disagreement. Moving on. Chris Lundy on Politico is reporting the story coming out of Berlin. German Chancellor Friedrich Mertz tried to lower the temperature of transatlantic relations yesterday on the 3rd of May by talking up his relationship with convicted felon Trump, but didn't pretend things are rosy. After Mertz took a swipe at Trump over U.S. military action in Iran last week, the president responded by insulting Mertz on social media and saying he would pull American troops out of Germany. Oh no! Days later, he threatened to hit the EU with higher auto tariffs. Yet again, childish reaction.
Yeah.
To something everyone agrees is stupid. Wow, you're really stupid invading Iran. Hey, you can't say that. Your mom smells. And I slept with her last night. Wow, you got me, Trump. That sure made your decisions to invade Iran less stupid because you insulted my mother. I believe that a good partnership includes respecting differing views. If only Trump knew how to do that. Mertz said during an interview on German public channel ARD. I do that, and I think he does as well. At the moment, perhaps a bit less. Okay, keep lying to yourself. I was with him 8 weeks ago, Mertz said of Trump. We have conversations of somewhat longer intervals, but fairly regularly, but not in the past week. Oh no, they broke up and they're not talking anymore. The decline of the pair's previously good relationship has done Mertz no favors. Trump's talk of troop cuts has amplified uncertainty over long-awaited missile deployments, and the president's renewed tariff threats are unwelcome, given the Germans' economy is already expected to suffer from the fall of U.S. and Israel's war with Iran. He should just say, threaten me all you want, dude. You already fucked up the economy. I don't care. Keep doing it then! The episode reflects a broader pattern in the Chancellor's communication style, which has drawn criticism at home for being overly blunt on sensitive issues. Aw, poor politicians can't take frank, factual honesty. Mertz has acknowledged the risk, but insists he won't fundamentally change how he speaks. Here's how it is, and if you don't like it, that's not my problem. You fix it. When I see such relations, I ask myself, what could I have said better? He noted in an interview. I'll say it better next time, but I won't say something different. Mertz has framed their approach as deliberate, arguing voters cannot should expect candor from their leaders, even if it occasionally creates friction. I 100% agree with this. I want transparency and candor from my politicians. I don't want them to say, well, it's not going so good right now. I mean, we might have to change some stuff. What do you mean what's not going good? Change stuff about what? And there's a meteor coming down to crash into the, Be straightforward. There's a meteor coming out of the sky. I don't want to speak like a polished pebble, he said. That's not my style. He added, I won't give up on the transatlantic relationship, and I will not give up on cooperation with Donald Trump. Maybe you should try cooperating with Mexico instead or something. Mertz, yesterday on the 3rd of May, sought to play down the substance of this dispute, particularly the threat of U.S. troop withdrawal, framing it as part of a longer-running military planning rather than a sudden rupture. There is a contingent of American soldiers in Europe that former U.S. President Joe Biden stationed here on a temporary basis. Their withdrawal has been discussed for quite some time, so he's basically like, go ahead and withdraw them. We were already talking about it before with the previous guy. Now Trump's going to be like, I can't do what Joe Biden was going to do, and he's going to leave him there. He said, noting that Washington frequently shifts its forces globally. On military support, however, the picture is more uncertain. A 2024 U.S. commitment to supply long-range Tomahawk missiles to Germany, which have yet to be delivered, has not been renewed under Trump, raising concerns in Europe about ongoing deterrence gaps against Russia. We have received a commitment from Joe Biden to deliver Tomahawk missiles. Donald Trump has not repeated that. He has not given us that commitment so far, Mertz said. However, the chancellor suggested that the issue may be less political than practical. It's definitely political, that's not a question. As I see it at the moment, there's objectively hardly any possibility from the US side to provide such weapon systems. Another source of friction is trade. Trump has threatened fresh tariffs on EU exports, including cars, which would hit Germany's economy particularly hard, but Mertz struck a measured tone, even acknowledging some US frustrations with stalled trade negotiations with the EU after Trump struck a deal last July with the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at his Turnberry Golf Resort in Scotland. To be frank, he is somewhat rightly disappointed that we in Europe Union will still not reach the conclusion, Mertz said. We have not signed it. The Americans have it ready. The Europeans do not. US Brussels moved quickly to implement the deal. That is why I hope we can reach an agreement as quickly as possible, he said, by reiterating we do not share the fundamental view that tariffs are a good thing. A lighter moment came when the conversation turned to football and the Men's World Cup, which is set to be jointly hosted by Canada, Mexico, and the US this summer. Asked whether a German victory... Yeah, I mean, I don't care about... I've never cared about the World Cup, so yeah, I'm already doing it. So good to be me and already be boycotting these things. Asked whether a German victory over the Americans might trigger fresh tariff threats, Mertz demurred. What is demurred? Like to be demurred? I'm still convinced the Americans would take that in a good spirit, he said, before adding confidently, and in soccer, I think we're better. You are. I don't know if America's ever reached high. Only the women's team. No, story.
The U.S. men's team has never even gotten close to the World Cup in soccer. The women's team won it. It's funny
to call it soccer.
Yeah, well, that's what we call it. I call it football. It'd be confusing to me.
No, I mean, he's German, so
right.
the German guy said soccer. I thought was interesting.
You can call it... yeah, it is what it is, man. You can call it either one. It isn't just because, the Europeans are going to get offended. I'm sorry if you're offended by that. I don't know what to tell you. Everything offends you if that offends you. Anyway, my joke is, of course, there's no joke like reality when it comes to this fat orange pile of
sadly
waste. In January, Stinky was given a speech at Davos, Switzerland, if you remember that's where all these rich people get together. And he said the following: if it wasn't for the United States, you would all be speaking German. Of course, Switzerland speaks German, about 65% of them. So, what an idiot. What an idiot. What an idiot. Anyway,
that's
of course, I'm just saying. Without the United States, all you Germans would be speaking German.
Terrible.
I had to look it up. 60 to
idiot.
65% speak German. About 20% speak French of Swiss. So, and there's a mixture of other languages, of course, but kind of a neutral country.
Mm-hmm.
Neutral, or so to speak. Anyway, off to Switzerland. I don't know why I got on that subject. And of course, there was another joke this weekend. Was the golf? I watch golf on weekends because it's relaxing. It's a little nature sounds. Nobody makes a lot of noise. And the Trump tournament was this year. It wasn't a Trump tournament. It was the Doral. It was the Cadillac Open or whatever. But it was played at this Trump golf course in Miami, right? Nobody came. There was nobody there. Like I don't mean literally nobody there. But usually you get the top players in the world, and Scotty Scheffler was there, and a lot of big names were there. Oh, Rory wasn't there. It doesn't matter. The bigger names are there. Anyway, on Sunday, I watched it yesterday, 18th hole, they got a big old grandstand, right, for when the winner wins, and everybody plays. It was full of empty seats. Like late Sunday, I was watching 18th hole grandstands. It's right next to the 9th hole, by the way. The 18th hole finish is right next to the 9th hole tee, right? So there's two grandstands there, almost completely empty towards the end of the tournament. And I'm like, wow.
Let's see who
that's
wins,
where you present the trophy.
Exactly.
It's like nobody went there. So Miami is boycotting Trump. So that's pretty encouraging news. Not a joke, but it's just one of the things that happened on the weekend.
Okay, I have another short story. And this is coming from...
Sorry.
It's more like an update. Beep, 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 pirates, get your pirate hats, get on your boats. And it's Somalia, because it seems like the Somali pirates are back as they hijacked another oil tanker in a second strike in weeks. This is from Shabelle Media Network on All Africa, coming out of Aden, Yemen. Somali pirates have hijacked an oil tanker in the Gulf of Aden. Maritime sources said yesterday on the 3rd of May. The latest in a string of attacks signaling a resurgence of piracy in one of the world's most vital shipping lanes. The Togo-flagged vessel MT Eureka was boarded by armed men at approximately 5 a.m. or 0200 GMT, that would be in the UK, near the Yemeni port of Aina. The tanker was overrun by armed individuals and is currently being steered towards the Somali coast. Regional Maritime Security source said it is expected to reach Somali territorial waters within the coming hours. The Gulf of Aden, a narrow corridor of water separating Yemen and Somalia, serves as a critical gateway for global trade, linking the Indian Ocean and the Red Sea and Suez Canal. The hijacking marks the second such incident in less than 2 weeks. On April 22nd, pirates seized the Honor 25, a tanker reportedly carrying 8,500 barrels of oil destined for the Somali capital, Mogadishu. It was already going to Somalia. They're like, we'll get it there for you. While Somali pirates was largely brought under control following a pink in 2011, thanks to international naval patrols and armed guards on commercial vessels, security analysis warned that regional instability and a reduction in maritime surveillance have encouraged gangs to resume attacks. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the seizure, and there has been no immediate word on the condition of the crew. Oh no, that's true, right? They took the crew captive as well. They didn't just send them on a lifeboat. They're probably on land by now. Cool. I think they're probably on land by now.
They're not, or they're dead.
I was hoping there would be
your captain now.
I was hoping there would be an update on this, but I don't think there is any update as now. Yeah, no update as of now.
No update.
And that's my shorter story.
All right.
A joke?
I do have a joke. Yes, I do have a joke. I was not a pirate, but back when I was younger, when I was on the farm, I grew up on the farm, I was actually a pilot. That's right, I was a pilot. I used to pilot over there, pilot over there, pilot over there. Yes, I was a pilot. There's my joke.
Good pun.
Yeah,
it's funny because pilot. It's
I worked on a farm. I was piling manure, as we politely call it.
That's why you're good at That's why you're good with bullshit, as well.
Yes, I've literally projected about 20 pounds of shit in my life just working on it. I mean, it's just your mouth and nothing you can do about it. I mean, I didn't do it voluntarily. Just a side note for y'all to think about. All right, my camera just went into the fritz, unfortunately. Did it not?
That's okay.
I think it did.
Yes, it did.
Can you see me?
You're frozen, so you probably have to restart your camera.
Okay, so what I did was I inserted a freaking SIM card in my car. Look, let's see what happens. Hello?
Not the SIM
It came
card.
unplugged. Just came unplugged completely.
The camera came unplugged.
Okay. More time.
One more. There you are. Whoa, whoa. No, you're not. You're not there.
You're getting off. They'll be plugging in. Okay, now we're plugging in. Don't switch. Keeps asking me to switch audio. Don't want to use my camera's microphone. My camera's microphone is terrible. You don't hear that. All right. Let's do some Banksy news. What did you spin while it was
hypothetical?
Hypothetical. Yeah. Don't try to insert the. I just flipped in a car, just punched it in. Ooh, my computer just. So I can't handle all the information at once and just locked out my camera. Banksy confirms new statue installed in central London is his own work. Anastasia Sokolas. Oh, that's a Greek name, I think. T-S-I-O-U-L-C-I-S. You pronounce it, okay? Let's do the story. A statue was erected mysteriously in central London early Wednesday. Has been confirmed as the work of a mischievous and awfully politically oriented artist Banksy. The statue depicts a man in a suit hoisting a large flag. The flag's cloth covers the man's face, however, and the proud march appears to be courting disaster as he steps off there's the word plinth again. I've had plinth in 2 articles in a row, and I've never used that word before.
The word of the day. Plinth. I wish I had a fun little graphic. I wrote that down.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's stepping off the plinth with no ground beneath him. Again, he's got a flag, and he's marching off into the blind obedience off a cliff like like
a fool.
What do they call it? I would say lemmings, but they've been unfairly
That's actually false. Yeah, that was actually just made up.
Right. Some Disney assholes, some guy who'd been paid by Disney staged that. Sick weirdo. The statue appeared to the public just as King Charles III made a state visit in Washington, D.C., New York, and Virginia, in which the King and Queen Camilla were feted by Stinky at a state dinner, and during which British royal addressed Congress, arguing for the importance of NATO. Oh, I didn't know that. Did you know that King Charles made this speech before Congress? I totally missed that. The statue, which includes a Banksy signature on its base, which was erected overnight on Wednesday. By Thursday, a video about the piece had been published on Banksy's Instagram account, confirming it as his work. The video set the British composer Edward Elgar's 1901 Pomp and Circumstance March No. 1. Damn, I should have played that video. Whose melody was played at King Edward's the 7th coronation, ends with a man telling the videographer how much he dislikes the work. Pomp and Circumstance is what they play at your graduation as y'all walking in. You know what? I'm sure you had to play it. You were in a band, right? The statue was positioned.
Yes. Every graduation. Yep.
For 20 hours of playing Pomp and Circumstance.
That's what it felt like.
Right. The statue is positioned in Waterloo Place near historic statues of King Edward VII and Florence Nightingale. I don't know if King Edward II is a hero, but Florence Nightingale is. It is unclear whether or not the artist received official permission for the installation. In an email to the New York Times, a representative for the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, wrote, Banksy has a great ability to inspire people from a range of backgrounds to enjoy more out his work. All these draws great interest and debate, and the mayor's hopeful that his latest piece can be preserved for Londoners and visitors to enjoy. What a guy. He doesn't want it taken down. Oh, we love this man. This is a man here that just doesn't care. Oh no, somebody got a statue or something. Oh, my feelings hurt. On Friday, Westminster City Council said in a statement shared by the Associated Press that we have no plans to remove the piece. We are welcoming Banksy's latest sculpture in Westminster, which makes a striking addition to the city's vibrant public art scene. While we have taken initial steps to protect the statue at this time, it remains accessible to the public to view and enjoy. Last September, the Royal Court Service in London scrubbed away a freshly installed Banksy mural that appeared 2 days earlier on a wall at its complex. The mural depicted a wigged judge attacking a protester with his gavel. That's unfortunate. Well, Royal Courts didn't want to get offended. Oh, you offended us. Oh, no, we're little kids.
Freedom of speech is barely existing there. Yeah, we talked about all the time.
So a bunch of little tit babies that can't take criticism. There's your story on Banksy.
Tit babies.
Oh, one last paragraph. In March, Reuters published an investigation that identified Banksy as the British artist Robin Gunningham, an assertion previously made by the Mail in 2008. Neither Banksy nor his representatives confirmed or denied. Yeah, you just don't comment. If you don't comment, they don't have a story. I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't me. So there you are, your Banksy story, your Banksy update. Let's have a hypothetical about.
Well, we've been talking about it since it showed up, and of course, people instantly started, that's Banksy. But it's nice to be confirmed, I suppose.
Right.
I think. But hypothetically, right? Right, we talked about this before the show. Even he probably didn't even create the. Just probably commissioned it.
He may have commissioned it, right? Yeah.
I want to see footage of them putting it up. There's like no CCTV around to see. Like people drag us a huge, because it's a pretty big statue. We don't have an image of it here on the podcast, but it's a huge statue. It's not like a tiny little thing. It's like the one you put on a plinth. And what do you put on a plinth? They're pretty big, so there had to be like a truck or something that drove by, with some sort of lifting mechanism to put it up. I just want to see that.
And we're using the word plinth, and word for the day again, plinth. I use it in 2 different stories that they're never using it in my entire life. Not even in Scrabble would I use this word.
Well, we better check our Wordle. That might be the word for today's Wordle. Or yesterday's Wordle.
A heavy, solid base or platform, typically square, used to support columns, statues, monuments, or furniture. A square piece of wood, basically.
What?
Yeah.
That do be what a plinth is.
I guess it could be made of concrete or stone, but yeah, I would say something that would just not.
I thought it was usually made out of marble.
Support a column. Yeah, marble. I don't know. I have no idea. I guess I knew the word existed, but I just never saw it before.
It wasn't in your. It's not in your top 100 words, 1,000 words. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
you have
ask anybody what a plinth is. I do. Denmark. We're going to Denmark. For Denmark and their data center reckoning, which every town in America is going to figure out sooner or later. So why is my electric bill $800 million?
Oh, I have to pay for their electricity.
Denmark.
That's cool.
Why is the water? Why is there no water when I turn on my tap? Anyway, CNBC.com. Denmark faces data center reckoning as power grid overwhelmed by surging demand. Hey, Denmark, tear them down. You don't need them. They don't serve any purpose. Copenhagen, Denmark have the story.
Turn them off first, When we have no power, turn off the data centers first. There you go.
Yeah, why is it Elon Musk putting all these data centers in space? That's a good idea. They don't have to cool them down up there. Anywho, this is from Copenhagen, Denmark. April Roach from the CNBC.com. The Nordics, long seen as a magnet for data center investment, thanks to their stable climate and abundance of renewable energy, are now weighing limits on the growth of power-hungry facilities as surging energy demand forces a rethink. There is no surging demand from humans, just from these bullshit data centers. At the center of the debate is marked the first of the Nordics to confront the question head-on, as the formation of a new government and a spike in grid access requests have meant a pause in new projects. Thank you. No more new projects. Not necessary. We don't need them. They're just feeding rich people's need to spike their AI value, which, again, AI has no purpose, has no function. There's no function for AI. It has nothing. There's nothing in this life that requires it. Nothing, not one thing. Anyway, data centers around the world are increasingly facing pushback due to concerns about their energy use. In the U.S., Maine recently came close to a data center construction ban, and in Pennsylvania, backlash could harm incumbents ahead of elections. Other states, including Virginia and Oklahoma, are considering moratoriums. Again, this cuts across party lines. What party you vote for stops mattering when you open your electric bill. That stops mattering. Who the fuck is in charge? Oh, these fuckers, throw them out. That's who. And the people opening your electric bills there's going to be a reckoning. I hope, hopefully, November, this is all going to come crashing down, and we get rid of these oligarchs who just think your only function in life is to feed them, is to feed them with low wage labor and children they can molest. That's our only function in the world. That's our only function, according to rich people. I wish I was kidding, but that turns out to be the truth. The only two European countries have enforced full moratoriums. The Netherlands leading the way, thank you, and Ireland. Again, let's be like
no
them.
Country's perfect.
More members. Good. What's that?
Said no country's perfect.
Yeah, no, Netherlands is ahead of the game here. They're ahead of the game. Both member states have since eased restrictions. Oh, way to go, dumbasses. Why are these restrictions? What are there certain conditions? But grid pressures are spreading across the continent as AI boom adds to the acceleration of electrification that was already being boosted by energy transition and digitalization. Again, if we're just creating all this a green power for the power grid and we're just burning it up at AI, what the fuck are we even doing? It's pointless. Let's just not even do it. Why even generate the electricity? You're just stealing it, basically. The hunger of energy policy. It's in the next section, as a heading says, which is very apt. In March, Denmark's state-owned operator Energenet introduced a temporary pause in new grid connection agreements due to an explosion of capacity requests. A spokesman told CNBC, around 60 gigawatts of projects are waiting for connections. That far exceeds Denmark's peak electricity demand of 7 gigawatts. Data centers are accounting for nearly a quarter of the 60 gigawatt potential new grid connection projects. Unfucking believable. Data centers are going to triple the demand for electricity, and they're not necessary. If you cannot get your AI workloads located in Denmark, you'll just move them somewhere else, and that's what we will see. Oh, okay, whatever. Make a move somewhere else, and that place will deal with it and throw you out. I mean, bombing data centers should become a thing. Seriously, just get rid of them. We don't need them. I don't care. My cloud disappeared with all my memory in it. I don't care. I don't care if my cloud goes poof. I don't care. I got a fucking zip drive with all my shit saved. I don't fucking care about that shit. Take your fucking AI and stick it up your ass. There's your story. Not going to do much more on it. They're going to talk about both sides of it. There is no both sides. Both sides. And they keep repeating the same thing, because down in the paragraph it says, you're repeating the same quote by the same guy. If you're not get your AI workload located in Denmark, you just move them somewhere else, and that's what we'll see. And that's what goes for both Denmark. You will also see Nordics as the region. If we are not able to supply those areas of requirements needed for AI deployments located here, they'll move somewhere else. She said, "This is a poor."
Yeah, they're basically hypothetically, right? They're saying here, if we don't do it, other people who are less responsible than us will do it, which is just Eurocentrism. You know, the idea that, well, Europe has to do this because we're the most responsible people in the planet. You know, if China's doing it, if India's doing it, if God forbid. Let me think of somebody that Europe, Africa does it. That's money we could be making, possibly, maybe. I don't know. So technically, so yeah, it's all bullshit.
According to
the whole joke about generative AI is the idea you're making money off of it is generative, right? The idea that you need to do all this infrastructure, all this investment, all of this improvement in the technology that someday maybe you'll make 1 cent from it. All of that money, right? That maybe you'll make 1 cent back.
They've already made their money. The people that made their money, the stock
people are
selling.
Are selling the idea. The idea sellers are making money. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
the people who are building these things think that they're gonna make them money in the future, and it's like, how are they gonna make you money in the future? The maintenance will cost you more.
And believe me, they get sweetheart deals, and they get sweetheart deals from the utilities too. Don't get that. Don't get that part twisted. Every time new construction happens in your city, there's been a sweetheart deal. You can guarantee it. The city council did something. They gave them a fucking tax break. These big box stores are the worst, right? They build a huge freaking building and they get a tax break, and the taxpayers find out about the tax break and go, what the fuck? And then they go, oh, we're out of here. And they take their shit and they go, and then you're stuck with a big empty building.
Yeah. This was just a tax break. This isn't actually useful for society.
And actual, because of the tax break, you never made any money. The local government made any money on it. And the jobs just disappeared when they closed the store. All right, spin the wheel for my deal.
Let's spin the wheel. Segway wheel.
According to AI, which I know runs off a data center somewhere, at 30 to 150 permanent jobs. 150 is the outlier. That's the highest you're going to get. 150 whole entire jobs. That's not even. If you're in a factory in my town, you're saying you're providing me with 150 jobs. I'm like, that's it, 150. Anyway.
And they're all townies. They're not even from here. They're all outlanders, outsiders.
Right.
Alliteration headline is the next segue.
Literate. Oh no, alliteration.
Oh no, you have to use the same letter / sound at the beginning of your sentence. Run! The next story is coming out of the Oscars. It is about, well, actually very conveniently about what you were just talking about. Data centers, AI actors, and scripts. That's right, if you generate your script, if you go to ChatGPT or whatever, Clyde or whatever the different AI bots are called, and say, make me an Oscar-winning script, and then you somehow make it into a movie, well, guess what? You can't win an Oscar. This is from David Marquand on Your News Culture. The Academy has updated its rule for how artificial intelligence is used, including one that says all screenplays must be humanly created. There are more ambiguous statements regarding acting, however. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences has, for the first time, addressed the use of artificial intelligence in performances and scripts for the 27 Academy Awards. As part of the annual review of Oscar eligibility rules, the Academy has tackled the issue of AI. While the new rules state that the tools neither help nor harm the chances of achieving a nomination, and that each branch will judge the achievement, taking into account the degree which human was at the heart of the creative authorship when choosing which movie to award, the Academy are reserving the right to request more information from the filmmaking team about the nature of the use of AI and human authorship. Humans have been at the center of the creative process, said Academy President Lynette Howell-Taylor. Oh, she smokes a lot, sorry. As an AI continues to evolve, our conversations around AI will do along with that. For the Academy, we're always going to put human authorship at the center of our awards eligibility processes. When it comes to eligibility of performances, only roles demonstrated performed by humans with their consent will be considered. The organization declined to comment on whether the upcoming AI-generated Val Kilmer performance will be eligible. We will review that on a case-by-case basis, Kramer said. We would like everybody in our industry and world, and we will be assessing this every year. There is much less ambiguity in screenplay categories, where the rules state that screenplays must be human authored to be eligible. Elsewhere, and in notable shakeup, actors may now be nominated for multiple performances in the same category. For decades, it was not possible for an actor to be nominated twice for the same acting category. So if you're in a lot of movies this year and you're really good in those movies, you can be nominated twice. That's what they're saying. That's crazy. Like, and the nominations are Tom Holland for all of his films. That's the nominations. I wonder who's gonna win. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be really funny if it was just one guy. Like, only Tom Holland gets nominated. That was the first person I thought of, by the way. I don't know if he's won. I don't think he's won an Oscar, and I think he should, because he actually is a good actor. Additionally, the Academy revised its long-standing policy that a category of Best International Feature only consider one film per country or region. That's right, more French and German films in there instead of just one French or German film, or one French and one German film, as determined by a local Academy-approved selection committee. From now on, a non-English film can qualify by winning the top prize at several film festivals, including Berlin, Busan, Cannes, Sundance, Toronto, and Venice. A single country can now also have more than one film nominated in the category, and all the international films will be credited to the nominee, not the country or region. So, to Berlin! No, not to Berlin, to this guy who's from Berlin, okay? The Academy changes, it's just to give them more. The whole point of the Oscars at the end of the day, in my opinion, is it's just a giant commercial. These are the movies you should have been watching all year. What the hell, man? You missed them. So it's really annoying when it's like, this guy wins Best International Film, but his name's not mentioned, right? It just says Germany won. Okay, who's the guy who made the film? Germany. The country, the whole country of Germany made this film. The Academy's changes come as industry tensions continue to grow. More and more A-listers are addressing the existential threat that is AI, especially in the face of AI-generated actors making headlines. They also coincide with recent comments made by Evangeline Lilly, who has criticized Disney for firing Marvel employees, largely from visual development team as part of the company-wide layoffs. Yeah, we don't need you to make CGI anymore. AI can do that for us, and it looks really bad, but hey, it's cheaper. This has led to speculation the company may be pivoting to AI for its special effects, although Marvel have made no official announcement confirming this. Just to be clear, generative AI. AI has always been used for visual effects. That's how they were able to make all those orcs at the Battles of Helm's Deep. That was AI generated, right? They were like, they put up, generate a crowd. That's AI generated. But they're specifically talking about, like, make a building. Why would we film at location when I can just tell generative AI to make an entire city for me to put this movie in, and then I don't have to film at location. We can do it on a lot on a green screen, and we don't have to pay anybody. I can't hear you because you're muted if you're talking.
If I could just sit at my desk at home and tell AI to create a movie for me, why do I even go to a movie in the first place?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, right? Get rid of the production lots. Yeah, just go in a data center somewhere and just live there and make all your movies. Anyways, just to finish off the story, this has led to speculation that they are pivoting for generative AI, but there has been no official. I mean, why would they officially confirm it? That would just be like, hey, let's make our stocks drop. Lily, who starred in Marvel's Ant-Man films as well as appearing in Avengers Endgame, took to Instagram to accuse Disney of turning its back on the people who built the MCU success. I reached out to my good friend Andy Park, who was a genius behind creating the original Wasp supersuit and concept drawings, and I said, is this true? Is this really happening? And he said, yeah, it's true. She continued, I can't believe that Disney has let go of artists who brought the Marvel Universe to life through their genius, and that the people who invented these characters, who designed them, are being replaced by AI. AI that will take their designs and take what they create and use it to create iterations of that. I'm so sorry, Andy, and I'm so sorry to every one of the artists who were let go. Oh yeah, I guess this is also talking about concept art. That's definitely, unfortunately, pivoted towards generative AI, right? Generate me a wasp suit. Yeah. Oh, that looks way better than something a human could have come up with, said no one ever. Lily wrote on her Instagram caption, Disney, shame on you for turning your back on people who built the power you are now, using to throw them away. Before questioning the law surrounding replacing human workers with AI, Where are the laws that remove all human art from AI, Bank? She asked. Why do they get to steal our brilliance and use it to make executives rich while the artists responsible for feeding their robots go hungry? Disgusting. California lawmakers, where are you? The 99th Oscars will be held on Sunday, 14th of March next year. We'll probably talk about it when it happens, as we always do, even though I don't really care for the Oscars. But there's my story. More AI.
Yeah,
at least not being able to give awards. They're not getting any awards. Though I think Kelly did win an award recently. That was the big drama, right? She won an award somewhere. And people are like, what the fuck? You gave her an award? She's not real. She doesn't care about the award.
Right on, man. And again, without AI, you won't have all that. You're going to have... AI is probably going to have you more of those anachronisms and stuff, right? It's like, right? Why are airplanes in the Old West? That kind of thing. Of course, 9 fingers is a thing, too, in the AI. All right, so my headline should read, shout out to Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade. If you know that movie, Sling Blade, or can I just have some of them French fried potatoes? Anyway, Billy Bob Thornton, one of my favorite actors. So he's in this headline, and the headline should read, Bogus Billy Bob Bots Banned. The only actor I could come up with 2 B's was Billy Bob Thornton. Right? There's a folk singer named Billy Bragg. British folk singer Billy Bragg.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's also a problem, right? The generated AI generated music, where it's just like,
oh god, yeah,
soulless.
Yeah,
you can feel the soullessness just incorporate into your body.
God. Oh, of course. And here's a twangy guitar. You like that, don't you? No, I don't. I don't like twangy guitar. It's a
like
gimmick.
You hear generative AI music, and then I feel myself get depressed. Like I actually feel myself go, oh, nobody wrote this. Nobody is pouring out their soul. You know.
I hear those AI. I hear those AI narrators, and then it's like, oh god, this guy's gonna pronounce everything wrong. He's gonna pronounce it different every time he says it.
Yeah, all the AI generated TTS or whatever says ally. I gotta change the spelling of my name to alley, like an alleyway. So it says my name right. Ally.
No, my name is spelled Smith, and I pronounce it Janowski. What do you think of that?
Janowski.
That's a George Carlin joke.
All right, it's now time for another segue, Will, because I got associated again.
Oh, just stay.
Come on, Will.
Yeah, your wheel broken. Wheel repairman. Call in the wheel.
Here we go. Repairman. Now it's time for me to do an alliteration headline for this day in history. It's the still alliteration off.
Alliteration for this day in history in the National Day calendar and everything else. This day in history, blah 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 blah. I should read today's
blah 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 blah.
This day in history. I'll read it like Carl Childers or Sling Blade. I reckon. I can't do that voice.
I don't think you can do that. I think you're gonna destroy your voice. I can hear you stopping talking.
I'm not even doing it right. It's got to be deeper than that. It's got to be somewhere. Actually. 1770, Francis Gerard, French neoclassical painter, was born in Rome. He was best known for portraits of celebrated European personalities, particularly leading figures of the French First Empire Restoration period. So again, he was born. He came of age during the French Revolution because he was about in his 20s. 1814, Napoleon landed at the island of Elba to serve the first of his 2 exiles. So again, if there was a second exile, there might have been a second Napoleon. They just grabbed the guys. Hey, you look like Napoleon. Guess what? And then he got his ass because he wasn't a real Napoleon. 1863. That's one of them conspiracy theories I like.
Yeah.
In 1863, the Battle of Chancellorsville happened in American Civil War. A bloody assault by the Union Army in Virginia that failed to disperse the Confederate Army in Northern Virginia. Anyway, it continued. It was continued. I guess it was happening on this day. Chancellorsville Chancellorsville, I do believe our ancestor was there in that one.
When was Gettysburg? Like, wasn't that the bloodiest battle?
July 3rd, 1863.
Okay.
It was 2 months from today, actually, it was Gettysburg. So, yeah. So they're on their way north. Chancellorsville's in the way, and the troops attacked and didn't win because, again, they had a bunch of Union generals that were afraid of Robert E. Lee or something. Who knows what the hell the reason was. They had superior numbers. There was no reason the war should have taken that long. 1886, a peaceful protest by labor protesters in Chicago against police brutality. 1886, turned deadly when an unidentified individual threw a bomb into the crowd and police responded with random gunfire. Oh, random gunfire. That's what the police are there for.
Individual. Was he wearing all black and happened to be wearing his police badge? I 100%. That's the conspiracy as I believe in. Oh, a violent protest. I bet a police officer started it. He was on the other side. He was in the crowd.
Somebody threw a bomb into it. Okay, all right. So somebody threw a bomb into the crowd and the police responded by shooting indiscriminately and toward another crowd. So whatever. What became known as the Haymarket Affair, it even gave it a name, resulted in widespread anger directed against immigrants and labor leaders, not the fucking thugs that shooting people. No, labor! Oh, you people! You should be grateful.
Working for a living.
Job.
Yeah.
Shut up and get back to your job, you stupid ungrateful.
Grateful, lazy layabouts.
The right wing controls the news, and they did in those days, even more than they do now. And they just own the papers, and the papers will just tell you what to think. And their headlines. It got better for a while, but you know, we're going back to that. We're just going back to that. Washington Post, New York Times, LA Times, they all just folded. They might as well just go to business. 1919, and what later became known as the May 4th movement, Chinese students protested the decision of Paris Peace Conference that Japan retain defeated Germany's rights and possessions of the Chinese province of Shandong. Way to go. Way to screw China. Jackasses. 1942, the Battle of the Coral Sea began during World War II as U.S. forces fought to prevent Japan from capturing this strategic Port Moresby in New Guinea. Not the old Guinea, the New Guinea. 1959, the first Grammy Awards were presented, and the winners included Ella Fitzgerald as well as Frank Sinatra and the Kingston Trio.
And that was the last good Grammys there ever was. Just kidding.
Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald. Kingston Trio, hang it on your head, Tom Dooley. 1959, folk music was the big music in the Grammys. Hello. How times have changed. In 1961, only 2 years later, the first Freedom Ride began in the South, a political protest against segregation of interstate bus travel in the South. Began as a group of white and black Americans departed Washington, D.C. on buses bound for New Orleans. There's a great documentary, I think it's even called The Freedom Ride. About this, it's like, the South is fucked up. Let's go straighten them out. Brave, nonviolent protest. A lot of them turned up dead for this. So
suspicious.
There's cowards, and then there's cowards. Cowards are people that just want to protect their pathetic holding down of other people. You are cowards. You have nothing. You have no integrity. You just want to own people. There's really something wrong with you if that's what you want to do. 1970, the anti-Vietnam War demonstration at Kent State University. 4 dead in Ohio. Immortalized by Neil Young and Crosby, Stills, Nash in the song "Ohio." The Ohio National Guard. Speaking of firing in the crowds indiscriminately, killed 4 unarmed students and wounded 9 others. Further turning public opinion against the war. Yeah. The war didn't get more popular, Mr. National Guard, shooting people on the way to class. By the way, the people that got shot and killed weren't even in the protest. They were just on campus between classes. Yeah, I'm going from the library to my class, and I'm dead.
Cool.
So fuck these assholes. And I remember everybody's like, well, they shouldn't have been throwing bottles and rocks. National Guard, helmets, shields, guns. Rocks, bottles aren't gonna hurt you. By the way,
Scratch on my cheek. I should kill somebody. I got a concussion. I should kill somebody. That's not a fair, equal reaction.
There was never any need for the National Guard to be there for a peaceful anti-war protest. It only turned violent when the National Guard showed up. So if you escalate something, that's what you get. So again, if you act like National Guard in your city is a normal thing, you're a fascist, and I don't want you in my city. I don't want you in my country. If you think putting the National Guard in your city is a good idea, I don't want you in my country. I don't want you as a neighbor. I don't want you anywhere on my planet, quite frankly. So if you think having a National Guard in your city is a great thing, get out of my country. Go away. You're a clown. You're a clown. You don't deserve the freedom you pretend to love. In 1996, Jose Maria Aznar became the Prime Minister of Spain after his party, the Conservative Popular Party, formed a governing coalition that ousted the ruling Spanish Socialist Workers' Party. He retired in 2004, keeping his pledge to serve 2 terms as Prime Minister. Imagine that. He actually served 2 terms and said, fuck it, I'm out of here. Viktor Orban or any other clowns, or Erdogan in Turkey. 2000, Ken Livingstone was elected the mayor of London, the first time that our British voters had directly elected a candidate to the executive office at any level of government. Really? You never got to elect mayor before? Well, you got appointed by the Queen? What the hell? You guys never even got to pick your mayor until 2000? That's crazy. London, come on. London, get caught up with the 19th century.
I mean, DC has the same problem, right? That's why they're always protesting.
No, DC picks its own mayor. DC picks its own mayor. How are you talking about?
I thought DC was all controlled by the House.
Yeah, it's controlled by the guy. They elect their own mayor. Next story, a feature event,
really
1868. Yeah. What's really sad?
But London didn't do that until recently. That's what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with
you.
The
21st century, basically. Yeah. 1868, our featured event is Buddhist pagoda is completed, surrounded by a book. And this day in 1868, we're talking about the Buddhists a lot today. And this day,
it's because it was their Buddhist, the Buddhist New Year or whatever.
I pre-read it.
Their super duper day on Monday, or sorry, on Friday. Their super duper day.
The word plinth is not in this article. On this day in 1868, the Kathada Pagoda in Mandalay, Myanmar was completed. Inside and around it is a book unlike any other. 729 marble tablets, each more than 5 feet tall, inscribed on both sides with writings held sacred by Theravada Buddhism. And again, there's something I want to visit. And it's in Myanmar. I wonder if you can get to there. Isn't that some of them countries that's run by a dictatorship that just clamps down on people?
Myanmar?
I think it is. Yeah. Our feature biography today is Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn turning 97 today. She was born May 4th, 1929 in Brussels. She died in Switzerland. We're speaking of Switzerland here. And I wonder if she spoke German. Perhaps. January 20th, 1993, age 63. She died in Toulouse, Switzerland. I believe French was her preferred language. Horace Mann's birthday today, American educator, born in 1796. A lot of schools named after him. He's an American educator. 1928, Hosni Mubarak, president of Egypt. He took over after Sadat was assassinated and turned into a dictator because he was an idiot. 1929, Audrey Hepburn. Keith Haring birthday, 1958. He would be turning, almost 70, 68 years old. And Rory McIlroy, Northern Irish golfer, winner of 2 consecutive Masters. He was born in 1989, so he's turning 30.
The new up and coming.
Yeah, he's not even young anymore. He's 37. I was going to say 47, but he's 37. Happy 37th to Rory McIlroy. 37 is young for a golfer. Actually, it's a prime. It's prime for a golfer, actually. Young, I mean, Tiger Woods won when he was 20. He won the Masters. So. That's young. No, 22. No, he was 23 or 24. But still, there's guys on the tour that are in their 20s that are playing well. But either way, Rory McIlroy is one of those guys that looked like he was going to go take all the Tiger's records off, and he first hit, and then just 10 years. You went 10 years. You went 10 years between winning the majors, and he finally won the Masters last year, and he won it again this year. And it looked like he wasn't even trying. Anyway, there's happy birthday to Rory. I didn't really care about him before, but he's anti-Trump, and he's anti-live golf. So hats off to Rory for sticking to his guns. He could have took the big check and gone to play live golf for the Saudis, but he didn't. He stuck by his guns and defended his, he defended decent people is what he did. Okay, so let's get on to this national day. It's 10 things today. National Star Wars Day. We won't belabor that anymore. May
the Force be with you.
Melanoma Monday. That's an unfortunate thing to call something. It's Melanoma Monday. Yeah, if you got yourself some cancer. Hopefully it's not carcinoma. Melanoma can be just benign as hell, right? And it's National Renewal Day. Get that melanoma renewed. I don't know. I get it removed, actually. It's National Day of Reason, where it shows a statue, not a statue of Banksy made, but it's that thinker, the thinker guy, the guy who's thinking.
The guy who invented reason. Before then, we would just all instincts and just, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. So why do you keep hitting yourself in the head with a hammer? Ooh, I'm gonna look handsome someday. That guy, have you seen that idiot?
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that. Didn't he die? He overdosed or something?
Nah, we can hope. But I'm just saying, reason doesn't exist anymore. You don't need a reason. You just gotta be a stupid.
What do we call the time of stupid or whatever we call it? Yeah.
Yeah, young men all over the world hitting themselves in the face with a hammer to. I'm sorry, what was it again? Look better. Are you trying to be gay?
Why you're lonely?
I'm not exactly sure.
Because you're not hot.
Don't ever
gay
make
men
fun of
are
gay people,
hot.
ever.
So.
Don't ever make fun of anybody getting a piercing. Don't ever make fun of anybody getting a tattoo if you're hitting yourself in the face with a hammer. National Orange Juice Day. National Weather Observers Day. National Candied Orange Peel Day. So it's a couple of things about oranges, and it's like
I wish I could
aren't
do
even
that.
in season. Or even in Florida, they're not in season yet, right? What the hell?
Maybe they're in season in Thailand or something. I don't know.
And it's so anyway. Why they're doing this, I have no idea. The orange juice, frozen orange juice day. It's National Frozen Orange Juice Day.
Okay.
Anyway.
Orange Julius Day, sponsored by Orange Juice.
Just pour vodka in him and have a screwdriver.
Is that what a screwdriver is? Orange juice with vodka?
Yeah, it's just that's it, man. Awful. The most awful thing in the world. I'm sorry. The only thing worse is
also
probably
coffee with orange juice too. That's a thing too. I don't know who drinks that, but it's a thing.
Bloody awful thing. Bloody Mary's even worse. I gotta say, the only thing worse than a screwdriver is a Bloody Mary. Ugh. What an awful. Whoever
let us know down in the comments below.
Yeah, if you like Bloody
What
Marys,
you love
I'm
Bloody
sorry.
Marys.
I don't know.
You're canceled.
You're
We're canceling you.
You're an alcoholic if you like Bloody Marys. That's all there is to it. You just take alcohol in any form you can get it. So there's your technical glitches. We get any haikus? No haikus. Your alliteration headlines. Your Mucking Fonday, Funking Monday. Funking Monday.
Funky Monday.
For May 4th, 2026 on Before Orange Juice and orange peelings. The only two things you get to eat today. Sorry.
Candied orange peel is actually really good. I've always wanted to do that, but the thing is...
Candied orange peel.
Yeah, candied orange peel. But the thing is, you have to actually use a bunch of oranges for something. And then you basically make it out of the leftover orange peel. So you're not just gonna... For me, it seems like a waste to get an orange. Right, buy like a bushel of oranges. And then peel them all so you can get the peel. Yeah. And then what do I do with all the orange? I guess I have to make orange juice. I don't know. Yeah. For me, it seems like a waste. So I've never been in a situation where I've had orange peel, so I've never actually made candied orange peel.
All right.
Yeah. Also, you asked a question about Myanmar. It says here Myanmar is officially known is a country that has a significant political turmoil. They had a military coup in 21, and they're currently under basically martial law. 25% of the legislative members of the country and key ministries are military members. And their current de facto leader, chairman of State Administrative Council Min Aung Hlaing, who took control following the coup. So,
yeah, that's
it
what I'm
is
saying.
One of those countries.
Go visit there. I go visit that temple with the big book printed, but hey, I might get arrested. I don't know. So, whatever. I almost had to go there. Did you know that? Back when I was in Okinawa, it was called Burma at the time. It was called Burma.
Was
and
it?
They said, pack your shit. Pack your shit. We're going to Burma. I'm like, where the fuck is Burma? I had to go to the library for Atlas. You know. Anyway, that's my
go to the library for an atlas just so you can find where.
I didn't know where Burma. Fucking covers Burma.
I mean, to be fair, this is back before you could look things up, right? So it makes sense they had to go to an atlas. But like nobody else could answer the question for you.
I was fairly educated in geography, but I didn't know where it was, so I had to look it up. And I was like, boy, I hope I don't have to go there. I didn't, even though they made us do that exercise where you sit there and pack all your stuff and get ready to go on a ship.
And then you didn't actually have to go.
Yeah.
Okay, our alliterations I have for you is Pagoda of Peace proudly preserved. Audrey's alluring aura artfully amazed. And sugary sensation savored for the candied orange people. Oh my god!
There we are, all of it.
Also, it's no international observance today, so I guess may the force be with you.
Nothing.
And I don't know.
Yeah, observe.
Go meditate on your power of the force, and I don't know. Keep balance within yourself, both light and dark. Something. I've been playing SWTOR recently, so I guess I've already been in the Star Wars move. And we'll see you tomorrow. Oh wait. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the US, for another week of Before Coffee. Welcome everyone, and thank you everyone who's been following the new Before Coffee channel on Twitch. I appreciate that very much. And sorry for kind of just changing everything on you on Friday, but I also did it to myself, so we all suffered last Friday. And if you're not already following or subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube as well, so that we can get more pushes in the algorithm for like the VODs, basically, that when I edit the videos down for the internet and stuff like that. And thank you everyone on Patreon for supporting Before Coffee.
Wow.
I will see you tomorrow for Good Tuesday Newsday. I was trying to think what else I needed to say. Good Tuesday Newsday, which will have all the good news you need to hear for this week, so you can have some hope in humanity again. And here is our mic drop moment.
Well, in true Banksy style, under the
Here's
cover
the,
of darkness,
oh yeah, now we
the
can show you how big the statue is.
It's his latest
look at that. That's pretty big. Like somebody had to drive by.
Plinth in central London,
right.
Place.
Well, I'm just saying,
this is though a bit bigger and more
so just had it laying down the bed.
His usual works. You might be wondering,
it out on some wheels and set it up in a matter of minutes, I think.
Wearing a suit,
yeah, but like it's a plinth with already a gate around it and everything, unless it was an abandoned plinth.
It's
like there's nothing on it.
Of London, which celebrates Britain's imperialism and
no,
military dominance of the 1800s. It's nearby statues of Edward VII, Florence Nightingale,
although that
and also
he could
the Crown.
be both
yeah, fuck
right?
British imperialism, boo!
Attracted.
That's not just because I'm an American.
By onlookers are trying to guess what his message might be.
This is more about Trump than anything, I would think. This is more about MAGA idiots in this country.
Yeah, well, the king went and talked to the government of another country, so.
Well, I kind of like agree with.
Well, he's just doing that because
the royal family.
Being led to believe that we're going nowhere. Yeah, absolutely going down the pan, and I just really hope that this opens up everybody's eyes.
Do you think that there's a reason why Banksy's done it at this point in time in the world right now, the current state of play?
Are you looking at the news?
The the people in charge are blind. So that's how I interpret it.
She's asking softball questions, that's all.
Well, we don't really know.
Softball
Banksy
questions.
has posted a video on his social media account.
I guess he didn't make it obvious with what kind of flag it is.
May have
oh, yeah, the social media account. Okay.
In the middle of the night.
Oh, there it is.
Cones being put down.
Kind of cute. He made a little meme short. Okay, that's exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to see if they actually filmed this and then
atop this plinth with a large hook. How long will it stay here?
Yeah, nice. Okay, good. I was wondering if they had any footage of this.
Down to what the council decides.
Now that's some good journalism right there. They answered a question. Thanks, Australia. They answered a question I had. A curiosity I had. I didn't even, I didn't have to go look it up myself.
Yep. You're asking your questions and I'm not answering because I think they're going to answer it. But yeah. So that's why I didn't say anything. Anyway. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons. And follow our other channels. Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.